Gewoon Vrienden, or for my English speakers, Just Friends. Now this movie follows the story of Joris and Yad. Now it's not a typical romance love story movie, however, because it kind of does not focus solely on this love story. In movies such as like Moonlight, where there's still a love story and there's still a focal point of the movie, there are just other parts of the movie that are also significant that help encompass it together, and this movie has a lot of that overall. So, overall, this Jihad is this Syrian immigrant who has kind of left Amsterdam because he doesn't want to be in medicine anymore, so he comes back and now he's working, teaching surfing lessons and being the help to old ladies. And then Joris is this kind of like more arrogant but more misunderstood the misunderstood boy, where he's just kind of dresses like a douchebag, but in reality is just kind of mad at life. And it's a twist of tales when you realize that this guy works for his grandma, actually, and that's kind of how it starts, the story. Now, this movie was like unexpectedly funny. Like the jokes, I was laughing like out of nowhere. Like there's no, they just punch the jokes in your face, and it works a lot of the time. Because I was just laughing, I just can't believe they just said that. It's just out of left field, and it's not like cringe either. A little bit, but we'll get to that. Like the jokes really aren't that cringe, and they're like, it's a very interesting form of comedic style taken in a movie where they have very little setup and it's just kind of just like a jabs you. And I appreciated it, honestly. It was pretty funny. Now the thing that is interesting about this movie is that it moves really fast, and I'm just like, whoa, what happened? I do not understand. The amount of times I had to rewind the scene because I didn't understand how we got to this point was ridiculous. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like, there were certain parts I was like, I would rewind and I was like, how did we get to this point? Like, what happened? How did this fall apart? Like, are you kidding me? Nothing was said. Like, it's all implied, which I think is an interesting way to go about it by the film director. Is not executed perfectly, I would say, because it kind of just leaves confusion. There's moments in the movie where it's like, are you just supposed to assume something's happening? Because it's not really implicitly stated or suggested, really, until it happens. And it just comes out of left field, kind of like the jokes. So we're getting a good trend for this movie. It's very surprising, too, because a lot of movies nowadays suffer from either being too slow or just not developing a plot. But this one kind of developed a plot too fast, where they could have stepped back and had some moments, get some stronger times. Like even the American Diner scene when they went to the American Diner. I enjoyed the moment, but the setup is just kind of just like, they're just moving too fast. Like they're trying to finish the movie. Like it wasn't that long of a movie. And we could see why, because they were just rushing through scenes. And it's like, just take your time. You don't have to do super slow. Take your time and enjoy the music, as they say, you know. But overall, I'm kind of surprised with this film. I've been wanting to see this for a while. I wasn't sure I was going to be. And I think it's the appropriate time of year to just kind of make a review about this type of movie. And I was really pleasantly surprised. Honestly, I had some suspicion. Sometimes you see some ships online, and it's like, oh, it looks really good, but then the movie is like completely different than what you envision in your head. And it's like, interesting. And please understand, the nudity in this movie is so out of left field. Like, I'm giving you this warning because you deserve it. It's not that bad. It's not graphic, don't get me wrong, but like, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, I was like, okay. I was like, I guess this is what we're doing right now. And it's like, very interesting. Okay, don't take it that way. You know what I mean. It's just interesting that they would just like pump it out there like randomly without any build-up. But either way, because this movie has a lot of pacing issues, however, it does do a good job because it's not overly dramatic, not overly emotional. This is a movie where you can sit down and you don't have to be like in tears at the end, or you don't have to be like, like dying. And that does take away a little bit, but the thing is, with these types of movies, usually they tend to be boring if you're not getting some emotion out of it. This one doesn't throw you for a loop that much, and it doesn't like pull at your emotions so much, but it's still good, which I think is very expertly crafted, and they're able to manage it like that. Still, I'm gonna have to give it around a 7. Maybe, nah, yeah, 7 flat, because the pacing issues is just something that's really hard to overlook. And it's just some parts, like the second half of the movie, I kind of felt like they were running out of ideas a little bit. As to a small extent, they were still able to execute it well, but it definitely felt like the first half of the movie they had a direction, and then they kind of just lost it a tad. But either way, what do you think? What do you think about Just Friends? If you've seen it, or if you're about to go see it, if you go see it, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. And if you want some more movie reviews and TV show analysis and similar stuff like that, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.